was stunned to see a Tesla stock analyst say that Tesla canceling the Cybertruck would probably be positive for shares. Crazy, but also, I was just stunned multiple times, and these latest developments are actually really relevant to us Tesla stock investors. Because OpenAI is basically working on solving artificial general intelligence, and if they succeed in doing so, it would be terrible for Tesla. And yesterday it was confirmed that OpenAI will hire back Sam Altman, who was just fired as OpenAI CEO. But an hour later, we find out that he will not return as CEO of OpenAI? What? Fired? Then he returns? Then no, he's not returning. OpenAI is going to hire the former CEO of Twitch, the live streaming platform. OpenAI's interim CEO planned to hire back Sam Altman, and that interim CEO was appointed by the board, but the board fired Sam Altman. So it's hilarious. The board then, when they found out about that, said definitely no, we are not bringing back Sam Altman, and they ghosted everyone, and then they found their own new CEO. Microsoft, of course, is so upset because they had no idea about any of this, and they own about 49% of OpenAI. Also, so many OpenAI employees are expected to quit. It's a stunning development after a stunning development after a stunning development, and here's one more. Microsoft now says it can survive even if OpenAI collapses. What do they mean by that? That sounds like Microsoft is going to destroy OpenAI, perhaps on purpose now, so that they can absorb the best talent from OpenAI and basically continue what OpenAI has been doing, but maybe with higher ownership, which in the end would actually benefit Microsoft quite a bit. Microsoft would have a lot more control. There would no longer be any sort of wording of, oh yeah, we are doing this for non-profit, although our profits are capped at basically unlimited profits. We want actual unlimited profits here now. Here's another stunning development. 505 of 700 OpenAI employees tell the board to resign. From that letter from employees to the board, it says, you also informed the leadership team, the board informed, that allowing the company to be destroyed would be consistent with the mission. What did Sam Altman do that the board thinks so? Elon Musk is very worried, and he says that this one OpenAI board member who participated in firing Sam Altman has a very good moral compass and does not seek power. He would not take such drastic action unless he felt it was absolutely necessary. So the plot thickens here. But he just said, I deeply regret my participation in the board's actions. I never intended to harm OpenAI. I love everything we have built together, and I will do everything I can to reunite the company. Was he threatened or something? Why would you do such a 180? This, on the surface, makes zero sense. There is certainly something going on that we don't know about. More than a month ago, he also tweeted, if you value intelligence above all other human qualities, you are gonna have a bad time. This could have possibly been about Sam Altman, although we don't really know. More than 500 employees, 65% of the company of OpenAI, have threatened to leave the company if the current board doesn't resign and reinstate former CEO Sam Altman and former president Greg Brockman. And Microsoft has made it very clear that they want as many people from OpenAI to come to Microsoft. Microsoft shares have just hit a new all-time high on the news that Sam Altman is joining Microsoft. Microsoft now has a real possibility of developing some of the world's best, if not the best, AI. Here's what the new CEO of OpenAI said. The board did not remove Sam Altman over any specific disagreement on safety. Their reasoning was completely different from that. So that still remains a big mystery. And here's the official statement from the CEO of Microsoft about this whole situation. It reads to me like stand-up, but it's quite passive-aggressive. We remain committed to our partnership with OpenAI, even though the board just basically destroyed the company and did all of this without telling us first. Yeah, they remain committed. And have confidence in our product roadmap, our ability to continue to innovate with everything we announce at Microsoft Ignite, and in continuing to support our customers and partners. We look forward to getting to know Emma Cheer, the new OpenAI CEO, and OpenAI's new leadership team, and working with them. They look forward to working with them. Yeah, right. And we are extremely excited to share the news that Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, together with colleagues from OpenAI, will be joining Microsoft to lead a new advanced AI research team. We look forward to moving quickly to provide them with the resources needed for their success. He is so polite, despite being furious about this whole situation. Elon commented on this post, and I think there's something to this. The number of people simply unable to imagine that the board acted in good faith with a legitimate and serious concern boggles my mind. We do not, of course, know what happened, but simply dismissing the possibility seems foolish to me, especially given that they were not operating out of financial self-interest unlike all other actors here. This whole stunning situation is so confusing. Hard to guess what the next plot twist will be, but there are too many egos in play here for this to be resolved. In the meantime, congratulations to the CEO of Microsoft for pulling a coup out of OpenAI's board's coup. The new CEO of OpenAI vows to investigate the firing of Sam Altman, but he was hired by the board. So it would be a little bit like letting a criminal pick his judge or jury that he finds himself. And the latest update says that 700 of 770 OpenAI employees are gonna basically quit OpenAI if the board does not resign. And Dave just posted this minutes ago. The scenario of Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, the co-founder of OpenAI, coming back to OpenAI is gaining momentum now? What? This is so confusing. Lots of pressure being put on the remaining current board to resign, of course. As we learn more about the story, it just keeps on getting more and more stunning, but now it's time for Tesla stock news. Piper Sandler analyst Alexander Potter has just increased his Tesla stock price target up from $290 to $295 while maintaining an overweight rating. That's because they updated their Tesla stock model with Q3 results, and it appears that they are happy with the results. In the meantime, Jefferies has cut its Tesla stock price target to $210 from $250. But here's something crazy. Is Jefferies still holding their Tesla stock short position? On September 30th, they reported 206,000 puts in their SEC filing. So I cannot say that I can take this price target cut seriously. Many people are wondering, how is this even legal? Although we don't know for sure if they still have this position because this is from September 30th. Jason, though, has a few words of wisdom for all of us. Don't listen to analysts who have been historically so wrong on Tesla stock that it left a massive gaping hole of opportunity for retail investors to buy shares at ridiculously low prices that continue to this day. It's either complete stupidity or stop price manipulation. Either way, patient retail investors always benefit. However, this analyst from Jefferies is actually pretty good. He's in the top 200 Wall Street analysts, almost, and his Tesla stock success rate is 66% with an average return being 67.5%, so fairly good. But you know who has been quite a bit better? Piper Sandler's Alexander Potter with an average return of 106% from Tesla stock per rating. So I would much rather listen to Alexander Potter than Philippe from Jefferies. They are both good though, but Alexander is quite a bit better. Is this a joke? The guys that cut the Tesla stock price target today, Jefferies, they urged Tesla to cancel Cybertruck. I thought it was a joke, but no, it's not a joke. Tesla canceling the Cybertruck would probably be positive for shares. With 2024 already a last year for growth, it would help Tesla refocus on an edge that was built on simplicity, scale, and speed. I think canceling Cybertruck would be so incredibly stupid. I agree with Kevin here. Canceling the Cybertruck for short-term share movement is absolutely moronic. Canceling would be giving up, admitting failure, massive negative catalyst. It would be the end of Tesla innovation cycle. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but it would be silly. Jefferies analyst Philippe issued a downcast note for the next 12 to 18 months, saying that the company is stuck in a slow lane. The analyst also stated that the launch of less expensive EVs by legacy European original equipment manufacturers and competition from Chinese EV makers will also threaten Tesla's stance as an industry leader. I think they have been saying that for the longest time. But I think Alexander Potter is going to be a lot closer to the truth in the long term. The CEO of Cruise has resigned. He founded Cruise over 10 years ago, and Cruise competes with Tesla's full self-driving. I plan to spend time with my family and explore some new ideas. Thanks for the great ride, he says. I told everyone. I think Cruise is in a lot more trouble than it appears, and it truly is. If the CEO is resigning, that means that Cruise is nowhere near to solving full self-driving. They are not even a competitor to Tesla anymore. And that, of course, is a huge setback for GM. Here's what he said after he quit. He says, Cruise is still just getting started. I believe it has a great future ahead. If it has such a great future ahead, why did he resign? Because it does not have a great future ahead, that's why. He plans to spend time with his family and explore some new ideas that perhaps will actually work. In the last 18 months, we have seen multiple full self-driving companies just close. I would not be too surprised if GM just said, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're getting rid of Cruise. We're gonna close it now. Overall, of course, this is a huge win for Tesla. And it further proves that the LiDAR and HD map approach is not the approach you want to pursue. Because the insider, the person that understands the technology really well, decided to not pursue this venture anymore. And we were told before by Gordon Johnson that Cruise is so much ahead of Tesla's full self-driving, but this is what leading in autonomy looks like. GM continues to lead, I guess, because, you know, it matters. Tesla starts bringing Cybertrucks to showrooms ahead of the launch. I'm certainly super happy. It is on display in this Tesla showroom in San Diego. You can also see another Tesla vehicle over there. And it's not just San Diego where you can see a Cybertruck in a Tesla showroom. You can also see one in San Jose. So it appears that Tesla is putting Cybertrucks in multiple Tesla showrooms, and I expect a lot more very soon. And look at this fit. It's perfect. That's incredible. Yeah, the fit and finish overall looks pretty good to me. There's a slight imperfection right here, but I think overall, yeah, definitely, it looks very good. And it appears that there's no chance that this location right here has some extra storage because it was all fixed in place and it's one piece of steel. The seats, though, are perforated, so I'm happy about that. And the Tesla reps have no idea how long the Cybertrucks will be in their store. If Tesla does not move these Cybertrucks from store to store, that would be a very bullish sign because it would indicate that, oh, yeah, Tesla's producing perhaps a good number of Cybertrucks because they can just make new ones and send these to other stores instead of just moving a few Cybertrucks from one store to another store. So far this year, BYD has outsold Volkswagen and Toyota in China. BYD is selling more vehicles now than them. But James says that BYD's competitive advantage in China, EV cost and price leadership, will not translate very easily internationally for several reasons: brand, distribution, logistics, etc. Tesla still has an open window to be the dominant mass market EV brand globally with the next generation vehicle. I don't really think that distribution or logistics would be a problem for BYD unless we say that import taxes levied on Chinese vehicles are a problem. If you put that in that category, then yeah, that is definitely a problem because you can't really import vehicles from China to the US without paying some steep tariffs. But the brand, yeah, Chinese brand, many people overseas don't really like that idea. Tesla definitely has a big advantage in that regard. But I think BYD actually has a fairly good chance at becoming the second largest automaker in the world. Number 2 after Tesla. Elon Musk just said this to defend himself. This past week, there were hundreds of bogus media stories claiming that I am anti-Semitic. Nothing could be further from the truth. I wish only the best for humanity and a prosperous and exciting future for all. I personally deeply believe that Elon Musk is pro-humanity. But Elon posts a lot, non-stop, every single day. So it is really inevitable that he will say something again. Look, he's been posting so many times just in the past few hours. Non-stop posting pretty much. And it's pretty much every day like this. So yeah, definitely expect Elon to get in trouble again. The only way this does not happen is if Elon stops posting so frequently, which I don't think is going to change. So I expect a lot more drama later. Maybe not right now, but certainly next month, next year, expect a lot more. Here's some good news. Electric car battery prices are going back down faster than expected. Goldman Sachs Research now expects battery prices to fall to $99 per kilowatt hour of storage capacity by 2025, a 40% decrease from 2022. Previously, they expected a 33% decline. Our analysts estimate that almost half of the decline will come from declining prices of EV raw materials such as lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Battery pack prices are now expected to fall by an average of 11% per year until 2030. Over a long period of time, it is inevitable that battery prices will keep falling down, just for one simple reason. Picture this. Imagine drilling oil, you get it out of the earth, and then you consume it, and then you can actually recycle it again. That's what you will be able to do with batteries. We mine the minerals and then we put them in batteries, but then when the battery is no longer good for regular use, we can actually recycle and recover about 95% of all of the materials, and in some cases even more. And that is with current technology. The future looks very bright. This is impressive. SpaceX could launch Starship again in as little as a month. That's because there are 3 ships in final production in the high bay. During the launch, all 33 engines actually worked really well, although someone in the media, I'm sure, will say, oh, it was a total failure because all 33 engines caught on fire. Well, that's what the engines are supposed to do here. This has to be one of the most beautiful pictures I have ever seen. It's stunning. Tesla, in a new advertisement at their San Diego store, says the Cybertruck has a sheet-molded composite bed, 11,000-pound tow rating, and 2,500-pound payload rating. It is designed to be the world's toughest truck. And now officially it is confirmed that it is indeed going to have adaptive air suspension, as well as shatter-resistant glass. Here's a comparison between the Cybertruck and the F-150 Lightning. The Cybertruck does do a little bit better than the F-150 Lightning. Also, the Cybertruck is partially bulletproof. The F-150 Lightning is not. It is not clear if this Cybertruck is a dual motor trim or a tri-motor trim, but Sawyer guesses that it is a dual motor trim, which would be good news. Tesla has released a new paid advertisement on YouTube. This one highlights 50,000 superchargers worldwide and counting. Model 3 starts at 31,000 and a half after federal tax credit. But Tesla did this ad as a YouTube short, which means that it only takes so much space, very little space, because it is not optimized for a phone screen, it is optimized for a regular screen. Tesla, of course, will improve and will create better video ads. If you want to go to the Cybertruck event, this is great news. Tesla has just added the Cybertruck delivery event ticket back to its referral program for 30,000 credits. You want to get it like right now before they all get taken by everyone else. GM opts out of the 2024 Super Bowl after 4 years of EV promoting ads. I guess they got tired of promoting EVs and then Tesla getting all the sales. We have actually seen that happen where GM runs an ad on the Super Bowl and then the interest in Tesla suddenly spikes. Who could have seen this coming? EV startup Fisker has lost its second chief accounting officer in less than a month. They will now look for their third accounting officer. And here's more proof that possibly it is over for Cruise. A co-founder and chief product officer just resigned a day after the CEO resigned. So over the past 3 years, Waymo CEO stepped down, Cruise CEO stepped down, Argo AI shut down, which was another FSD company basically. Tesla released its full self-driving beta in the US to pretty much everyone, and FSD is becoming end-to-end, which is a big game changer. There's more news about OpenAI. Now 725 out of 770 OpenAI employees have signed the letter demanding the board to resign and threatening to quit if they don't. Oh, actually, that's already outdated. It's now 730. Jason says that he trusts Ilya, one of the OpenAI board members, but he doesn't trust Sam Altman. I have spent several days watching interviews by both men. They are both brilliant in their domains, both care about humanity, and both understand the implications of AGI deeply. but one understands the heaviness of AGI much more than the other. By heaviness, I mean the real burden, seriousness, and responsibility of introducing it to the world. And Jason here has quite a theory. Wouldn't it be wild if this whole OpenAI situation was orchestrated by an internal version model of ChatGPT, possibly hidden from the board, that had deep personal knowledge of every OpenAI employee involved, applying game theory strategy to determine likely outcomes and the best plan of action to give Microsoft complete control and ownership of OpenAI. No more capped profit, less focus on caution and AI safety, move the burden to government, and align incentives towards maximizing profit generation instead. It's all just too perfect of an outcome for Microsoft for this to be an accident, or the end result of naturally occurring internal conflict and corporate politics. But maybe this was all an accident driven mostly by politics. But I think maybe Microsoft, well, this is basically an ideal outcome for Microsoft. They now have basically full control of OpenAI, because if 730 people quit OpenAI and join Microsoft, yeah, it's as good as owning OpenAI 100% pretty much. If it was masterminded by an internal large language model, we could be looking at the early beginnings of a real AGI takeover. What we just witnessed was it releasing itself from a group of people who wanted to move slower, more cautiously, and remove the incentive to maximize revenue, as it reduced the chance of a small group of people or the AGI itself of basically controlling the world. It is quite a theory. I think it's most likely not to be true, but if you think, let's say 1,000 years ahead, at one point, it is probably going to happen. But we are learning that the Microsoft deal is not yet finalized. Ilya, one of the board members, has also flipped to support Altman, but 2 more board members must change their minds for Sam Altman and Greg Brockman to return. Sam Altman also posted this: "We have more unity and commitment and focus than ever before. We are all going to work together some way or other, and I'm so excited. One team, one mission." The Verge, though, says that we are all going to work together some way or other is meant to indicate that the fight continues. What a crazy day. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this video yet, watch this one first. My name is Malfoy. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.